What's good, YouTube? Crown Jewel from Crown Jewel Boxing, back with a gym. Uh, long night, turning into a late afternoon, but hell of a weekend for Atlantic City Boxing. Atlantic City is back. Jaron Ennis, a special talent out of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, I think did everything that was necessary to quiet the naysayers. If anybody questioned whether or not this kid was special, he silenced it last night. To rate his performance, I'm going with a 9. And I think it would have been a 10 had he not abandoned his jab for a couple rounds. But when he was working behind his jab, he looked immaculate. And even when he didn't, he still controlled the action. He just was able to be touched a little more than was the case when he was working behind his jab. When he worked behind his jab, Villa pretty much couldn't even really touch him. When he did touch him, he couldn't touch him with anything flush. His boots was rolling with everything he threw. Again, I think he made a statement last night. We saw what Villa did to Rashidi Ellis. We know he's a sturdy fighter. It was not a contest last night. That was complete destruction, a demolition of a world-class welterweight. He was rugged with a granite chin and a whole lot of power, and Boots made him look extremely ordinary last night. And that's what the greats do. And I'm going to go ahead and say it. He's a great fighter. I'm not a good fighter. He's a great fighter. As I've said for a couple years now, you're not going to see Boots against Crawford or Spence because they'd be foolish to take that fight. It's just too high risk, too low reward. And as you see, if you look at my interview with Steven Espinoza a couple days ago, he hinted at both of those guys going to 54, and that's their best bet. So, Boots just has to keep beating the brakes off everybody they put in front of him and buying this time. He's the future of the welterweight division, and I think shortly after that he's going to take over the junior middleweight division because he's just that talented. Also, the co-main, Mikhail, I can't think his last name right now. The middleweight, from Houston, Texas, that won the co-main. I thought that was a great performance. That young man neutralized a very rugged, hard-punching fighter. Fought him on the inside for the most part. Grabbed when needed to, used his legs when he needed to, and ultimately beat that guy up as well. And I'm just a boxing junkie. To see a guy neutralize a world-class fighter's strengths and basically render him defenseless and beat him the way he did. I mean, his performance wasn't quite as good as Boots to scale because I don't think he has the ability Boots has. But he showed much more than would have been expected from a 14-1-2 fighter last night, and hats off to him. Also, Samson Lukowicz, welcome back to Jersey. He was there in the losing effort. A winning effort, He came and beat a guy from Jersey, but I always have love for Samson Lukowicz as stablemate of mine, Levander Johnson, was helped a great deal by Samson. Samson got him a few title shots. Actually, Levander was able to win a title, IBF lightweight title with Samson, so it's always good to see Samson. And for those of you who don't know who Samson Lukowicz is, all I had to say is he's the man that brought Manny Pacquiao to the United States, also Sergio Martinez, so that speaks for itself. Very powerful man behind the scenes in boxing, longtime matchmaker, now has Samson Promotions, so, very powerful guy. But all in all, great weekend for Atlantic City Boxing. A bunch of celebrities in the building. Stack 5, Steven Jackson, Gillian Wallow, Atlantic City was loaded last night. It's on fire, and I hope it continues. I've had Steven Espinoza from Showtime say that there's a very good chance that they'll be back in Atlantic City. They've been meeting with the powers that be in Atlantic City, Mayor Marty Small and the casino, I think the Redevelopment Commission, and just, a lot of people down here about keeping big-time boxing back. And I was able to speak to Marty, and he told me, he said, I told you I was going to find a way to bring big-time boxing back. And, we're aiming to make Atlantic City Boots' hub. And that would be great for both Atlantic City and Boots, as, we've seen what Arturo Gotti was able to do at Boardwalk Hall. And it started off in the Adrian Phillips ballroom, just like Jaron Boots Ennis did last night. I mean, and it was a sellout. The crowd was electric, and the performance matched all the hype. So, again, shout out to Boots. Shout out to Coach Bosey. You guys have been in the game a very long time, working very hard, patiently waiting for your time. And I have to say, you're not the future. Your time is now. It has come. You have arrived. And, the performance matched all the hype. Congratulations. Until next time, keep your hands up, your chin down, your ass off the floor. Peace.